we have looked at the two pshat options for Devarim 34:4, the Hiriticha Beinecha, the statement that God makes to Moshe Rabbeinu that before he dies, God shows Moshe the land that was to become Eretz Yisrael. The point of this exercise was either a reassurance to Moshe that although he personally will not enter the land, he can die with the knowledge that he has successfully completed the mission that he undertook at the burning bush 80 years earlier. Or alternatively, as Rashi suggests, that he was to go back to the Avot, in spirit at least, and inform them that the promises made by God to them regarding the Bnei Israel had been fulfilled. We also looked at a third option, albeit somewhat in the area of Drash and Sod, that the Re'iyat Moshe brought about a sanctification, once again albeit on a spiritual plane, that facilitated the transformation of Eretz Canaan into Eretz Yisrael. Of course, we are here dealing with spiritual matters. They don't necessarily follow the rule of the down-to-earth pshat. And from here on we will explore the non-pshat aspects of Devarim 34:4, not just in the future short term, but also the long-term future, extending all the way through to the Yemot HaMashiach, the Messianic age. The thesis of the Rebbe in the Sikha is that the presence of Menashe on the east side of the Jordan played a crucial role and impacted upon the nation as a whole, and specifically upon Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain. This is a topic that will rely on textual material drawn from the Medrash. On the surface at least, the material is speculative, and as such must be understood in the particular context in which Medrash functions. Three factors played crucial roles in the evolution of Bnei Israel, from family through to a nation. One was a Geula factor, the ability to be free to make choices about one's future. A second component was that of purpose, and this was embodied in the revelation at Matan Torah. The third component was Yerushat Haaretz, the implementation of a free people with a purpose in a defined piece of territory. The thesis that the Rebbe will develop is that all three aspects were channeled through the actions of Moshe Rabbeinu in the biblical period, and in a spiritual sense, their counterparts in the post-biblical period, up to and including the Yemot HaMashiach. Firstly, Moshe's role with respect to Torah. From the Torah Shebiktav text, we see that he played a pivotal role, firstly in delivering the Aseret HaDibrot, and, as far as Orthodox Jewish thinking is concerned, the entire Chamisha Chumshei Torah. Beyond the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, we have midrashic statements that connect Moshe to text material that surfaced subsequent to Moshe's death. This material needs to be understood, of course, in its own context. Earlier in Sefer Dvarim, in the first of Moshe's three speeches to the nation, Moshe states that Vayiten Hashem elai et shtei luchot ha'avanim, God handed over to me the two luchot ha'avanim, stone tablets that were ketuvim be'etzba Elokim, written by the hand of God. The text goes on to inform us that the information written upon the luchot were the 10 statements that had been orally transmitted to the nation as a whole as they were assembled at the foot of Har Sinai. Va'aleichem kechol hadvarim asher diber Hashem imachem bahar mitoch ha'esh. An entry-level pshat understanding of the word aleihem is that it refers to the luchot ha'avanim. God gave to me, Moshe says, the two luchot upon which were written the Aseret HaDibrot. The textual anomaly with the pshat is the superfluous chaf in the word kechol, or for that matter, the entire word kechol. The text should have read v'aleim hadvarim, or kol hadvarim, that were transmitted orally at Matan Torah. This anomaly is addressed in Talmud Bavli, Megillah 19, where the Gemara quotes a rhetorical question from Rabbi Yochanan as to my dichtiv, what is the meaning, the purpose for the statement v'aleihim kechol hadvarim asher diber Hashem imachem bahar, to which he responds, Melamed, the pasuk with the superfluous gechol, informs us Shehirehu HaKadosh Baruch Hu LeMoshe that in addition to the literal text of the Chamisha Chumshei Torah that God dictated to Moshe Rabbeinu, God showed, God informed, God exposed Moshe, also the Dikdukei Torah, the Dikdukei Sofrim, Uma Shahasofrim Atidim Lechadesh, all future interpretations and additions that emanate from the Chumash text. Umay Nihu, what specifically, for example, is to be included in this broad statement? Mikra Megillah, events such as those recorded in the Megillat Esther. We are not here going to explore the difficulties that this kind of a statement raises and how one approaches this statement so that it is not deemed to be absolutely ludicrous. The upshot, however, is that from the standpoint of Drash, the word Va'alehem, which according to Pshat modifies the Luchot the Moshe received, from the standpoint of Medrash, connotes the concept of in addition to. That in addition to the Shnei Luchot Avanim, Moshe was informed Kol HaDvarim, additional material, beginning with the Nevi'im, the Ketuvim, and moving on into the Torah Sheba'al Peh. This concept is amplified in the Talmud Yerushalmi Peah, in a statement attributed to Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, that over and above the Torah Shebiktav, the concepts and ideas recorded in the rest of Mikra, Nevi'im Ketuvim, Mishnah, Talmud, Vagada, are all linked to Moshe Rabbeinu. And furthermore, Va'afilu Masha Talmud Vatik, all material that a knowledgeable scholar Atid Lahorot Lifnei Rabbo will present to his mentor, Kvar Ne'emar LaMoshe B'Sinai, had previously been transmitted to Moshe at Har Sinai. And on this point, within the Orthodox Jewish community, you have a range of positions regarding the authority of post-biblical sources. Some take this statement of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi literally, while others contextualize this statement. Either way, Moshe Rabbeinu is linked not just to the Aseret HaDibrot, not just to the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, events that took place prior to his death, but also to the Nevi'im and the Ketuvim, and beyond, in statements that are recorded in the entire Torah Sheba'al Peh, which to many include material sourced from the Tanaim and the Morayim, all the way through to the Rishonim and the Achronim. And even further afield, suggests the Rebbe in the Sikha, based upon a statement by Rashi to a pasuk in Shir HaShirim, that the Torah that will be taught in Yemot HaMashiach would have been channeled through Moshe Rabbeinu, and the role of Mashiach is to bring that material into the public arena.